Our biggest issue is when we look at the money, we only see the money one way. And then we don't know the power of it. There's this statement I made one time. I said, there's two types of people in the world, right? There's people that know how money is used, and there's people that know how to use money. That's two different types of people. What if we looked at money in the way where money was to be inherited? Money was to give us opportunity. Money was the catalyst to freedom. What if we changed our perspective about money? And I know we done heard this before, like you gotta change the way you look at money, you gotta change your relationship with money. But I realized something, that before we can change anything, we gotta believe it first. We gotta believe it first. So what if you had an injection that helped you change how you felt about money, but it also changed the way you believe that money was attained? And I think that's the thing that helps us, right? I think the thing that really helps us move forward is when we say, the way that money is attained is different than I know of it. Let me say that another way. Let me see how I can work that in, because I like that. What if we can change to the way that money comes to me is different than the way that I was programmed to believe about money? Okay, let me dig in. I got it. What if the way that you thought money flowed to you, you changed the way, okay, this is it. You changed the way that you believe money operates. I like that. Sometimes it takes a little while to come to me, right? We see money as a tool. Some see money as a resource. But you can only see it as a tool or a resource if you change the way you interact with it. That's it. So the way you interact with money changes the way that you use it. And when you change the way that you use something, you change the capabilities of it. There we go. When you change the way you use it, you change the capability. So I remember when I was a construction worker, we had this tool called a sleever bar, right? We had this tool called the sleever bar. And so if you look at a sleever bar, you're like, yo, there's no way that bar can move something that weighs 1 ton, right? But so what happens, some people try to get the sleever bar and they try to put the whole bar under whatever the object is, and it won't move it. Because at that point, you've given up the leverage that the sleever bar has. Okay, watch this. But the really good people with the sleever bar know that I don't care how big the sleever bar is, all you really need is the tip. The tip of a sleever bar, if you just slightly hit it, and you just get it from every little angle, just the tip of it can move the biggest of objects. And it blew my mind when I saw that. That's why as an iron worker, they say one of your main tools outside of your spud wrenches in your maul is a sleever bar. And I never understood it until I got in a jam one day and we had to move a 1-ton cement block. And all the old heads said, youngin', go get your sleever bar. And they got mad at me because I said, man, my sleever bar is in the truck. And they said, why would you keep your most important tool in the truck? If you gotta go get your most important tool, you already lost. You already lost. So I'm like, how? I can just go to the truck and get it. They was like, well, if you got to go to the truck and get it, that means you ain't prepared, and that means you don't really understand how powerful the tool really is. So if you coming to work every day, you got to keep your tools with you so that when you're in a position to use the tool is already ready. So I learned how to keep the sleever ball with me. Then I learned how to just use the sleever ball. I had to just use the tip, and I had to just move a little bit at a time. And it didn't matter what, no matter how big the object was. So then I did ironwork for 10 years. So then I just kept the sleever ball with me at all times. And every time I got in a situation, no matter how big or how small, I always was able to use the tip of the sleever ball to move the object. Trap, why is that make that make sense to me right now? When you change the way you use your money can leverage any situation you in. When you change the way you use the money, you looking at it like, I don't have enough money. But what if you learned how to leverage the money you had? Then the leverage can put you in any situation. The leverage can put you over the top. The leverage of the sleever ball, the leverage of the money, the capability of the money. No matter how big the bill is, no matter how insurmountable it may look, if you learn how to leverage the money, then you can use the money to move any object or put you in any room. So once I learned how to use the sleever ball, it became powerful. Our biggest issue is when we look at the money, we only see the money one way. And then we don't know the power of it. And there's this statement I made one time. I said, there's two types of people in the world, right? There's people that know how money is used, and there's people that know how to use money. That's two different types of people. There's two different types of people. There's the person that says, I get $1, I save $1. There's a person that says, I get $1, I spend $1. There's a person that says, I get $1, I leverage $100. There's two different types of people in the world. There's the type of person that wants to make as much money as they can, so every day they're working for money. And then there's the person that says, once I work for enough money, I know how to make the money make me more money, because I'm the person that knows how to use money, not just the person that knows how money is used. There's two different type of people in this world. And so when we think about getting money, when we think about building wealth, when we think about freedom, the first thing we got to do is learn how money is used, but then we got to learn how to use money. That's the key to freedom. That's the key to freedom. The key to freedom is learning how to use money. How to use money. So you can listen to all the stuff you want. You can take all the notes you want. You can read all the books you want, but I need you to understand, until you learn how to leverage the money, until you learn how to position the money, that's when you change the game. That's when you change the game. So tonight, what I want you to really lock in your brain, what I want you to really tell yourself, what I really want you to hone in is, what person am I? Do I know how to use money, or do I just know how money is used? That's the conversation. That's the conversation. Do I know how to use money, or do I just know how money is used? And if you only know how money is used, I need you to take the rest of 2025 to get some new information that shows you how to use money. Now let me show you something about the sleever ball before I go. One day I had got so confident with the sleever ball, and I had got so cocky with the sleever ball. I was like, I got this, man. Get out the way. Get out the way. I got this. I'm gonna know how to do this, right? People started making me mad because they didn't know how to use the sleever ball. One day it was really, really cold outside. One day it was really, really cold outside. It was on the Falcon Stadium. And I leveraged the sleever ball the way it was supposed to, but then it slipped. And it jammed my hand, took my nail off. because I put too much pressure on it. So all I want you to tell you is this: once you learn how to use the money, don't ever put too much pressure on it, because there's always a situation where it'll come back and hurt you. See, what happens is once you get a little money, you get a little information, what happens is we start getting cocky, we start getting arrogant, we start disrespecting the money. We start disrespecting the tool. We start over leveraging the tool, and then the thing that was built to help us becomes the thing that hurt us. And it took 18 months, not just for my nail to grow back, but for my whole finger to heal, because I bruised not only the nail bed, I bruised the inside of it. So now, guess what? I had to relearn how to use a sleever bar, because I had to grow a different respect for it. So all I want to tell you tonight is, once you learn how to leverage the money, don't stop learning. Don't stop evolving. Even though the rules stay the same, the way you use the tool gonna be different. And if you ever lose respect for the tool gonna hurt you.